in Maroof on the broadcast. Maroof, what is Zakir Naik doing in Qatar? Relations with him with football, and especially when it comes to hosting a hate preacher like Zakir Naik, what does it say about Qatar?
Well, Qatar has been using the occasion of the World Cup to essentially send out a message about their strong beliefs on Islam. And this is something which is in keeping with the policy of the regime in Qatar. And I believe, and I've seen pictures of various humanitarian sayings of the Holy Prophet being displayed at various points in Qatar to essentially convey a message of Qatar's strong beliefs and the lineage of the Prophet and the connection of Qatar with Islam. Please understand, in the Gulf region, all countries would use occasions to convey their message about a leadership role that they intend to play in the Islamic world, and it is not so much in terms of support of terrorism, because Zakir Naik can say different things on different occasions depending on the kind of audience he has. And at this point of time, I think they would have spelt out to him very clearly that while you can do your preaching, no radicalism, because Qatar itself was blacklisted by the US some years ago by Donald Trump for a regime that sponsors terrorism. So this is a kind of seesaw battle that continues to take place between the Arab world and the Western world. And most recent seems to be the messaging that Qatar has been giving out. So I would not say on any account that Qatar has been using Zakir Naik's presence there to convey message of hardline Islam. On the contrary, I think they would be using this occasion to put out a message about Qatar being a moderate Islamic state, which the West can engage with. And I think that would have been Zakir Naik's brief. But
Maroof, even an Islamic country like Bangladesh wants him. I mean, he's a wanted man over there. Despite also Malaysia offering him a permanent residency, Bangladesh has banned him.
You see, it goes back to the old adage, and that is the problem the world has been having with dealing with terrorism. That A, there is no UN-approved description or definition of terrorism. Two, the problem that comes up is that one man's terrorist is often seen as another man's freedom fighter. So Zakir Naik has systematically built up a large gathering of followers, including in India, and the world has to come around to a standard agreement that who can qualify as a terrorist, who is not. I would say Zakir Naik on some occasions has been certainly making statements which is not welcome in India, and that's why he's gone and settled in Malaysia. But on other occasions, if you hear him out clearly, there are things that he says which cannot be seen to be terrorist-centric, but it is basically conveying the message of Islam. Qatar is using him and perhaps many others to convey that message. So at this stage, we have to take a call how we wish to see the stand of Qatar, because Qatar is also a very important gas supplier to India. So India has to tread cautiously on how much do we wish to put our foot down on issues like this, because today Qatar has, I believe, about 65% or more of India's gas supplies, and that is something that we cannot find an alternative to other than in Russia, but not of the scale and not of the convenience that Qatar provides.
Well, remains to be seen. The wanted man in India, he's a fugitive, is a runaway fugitive. Will the MEA be responding on the same? As his presence there, he's been welcomed by the administration there in Qatar over the ongoing FIFA World Cup. Thank you very much for the moment, Maroof, for joining us here on the broadcast.